Meditation, is it essential in our life? And why meditate is so important? All over the world, and in any society where one lives, it is very important to meditate on life of a daily, but also persistent nature. Indeed, since the dawn of time, and in ancient peoples such as India, Tibet, Egypt and even the Celts, people consider meditation as a sacred act. This means that they do not necessarily meditate for the sake of their well-being, but rather to acquire universal knowledge. Today, meditation is known to be a source of happiness, good health and well-being. But it has much more power than we think or some people claim. Meditation allows us to calm the perpetual and harmful mental activity that generates and is generated by our worries, concerns, sensory stimuli, sight, touch, smell, hearing, that we have been living with since our birth. The accelerated rhythm of our thoughts, infinite, which parade like shooting stars in our mind, is largely responsible for our fragility, our problems of stress, anxiety, psychological deficiencies, and even more, our greatest fears, our capacities of understanding, our intellectual faculties, and even our health is then quickly limited or weakened. It is therefore very difficult for each of us to free ourselves from all this, and pay more attention to our body and mind. So to speak, it is more complicated for us to listen to our subconscious, our instinct, our conscience. As a logical consequence, it is impossible for us to access the immensity of our own inner wealth. But, absolutely nothing is impossible. Perhaps you have already read, heard, seen. But we will certainly never repeat it enough. Give yourself more time. Start with 10 minutes a day for a week. Take the time to breathe. Clear your head. Focus on your breathing. You will notice that your breathing is particularly truncated by rather rapid inhale/exhale rhythm. Relax. When you get used to this little exercise, don't hesitate to take 15 minutes a day, then 20. There is no point in going beyond that if you are new to meditation, because the desire and ambition should come to you naturally, without any external force or obligation. The important thing that I want you to remember, besides saving you from many unnecessary, irrational thoughts, meditation will guide you into the eternal, invigorating inner light of your being. Calmness, simplicity, and mostly, awareness, the present moment, reality. Reality of life, at higher levels of consciousness. Unalterable symbols of the attainment of true and lasting happiness. The supreme silence, nirvana. But, what is nirvana? How can we define the term nirvana? The extinction of all worldly desires, which frees man from his condition of suffering, illusion, maya and avidya, ignorance. Nirvana is fundamental in Buddhism, which uses it to describe bodhi, the state of extinction of all desire, the root cause of birth and rebirth. Nirvana is a philosophical concept in Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism that means extinction or liberation. Popular meaning. In common parlance, nirvana refers to a supreme happiness, a pleasure of the senses attained, especially through sexuality, objects or very pleasant situations. It is then a meaning roughly synonymous with intense pleasure, quite distant from the original notion of nirvana. The principle of nirvana is a psychoanalytic concept of the tendency to nothingness, which does not correspond to the Buddhist term nirvana, but rather, to vibhavitarsna, which is the thirst for non-existence. Nevertheless, the Buddhist state of nirvana is at a much higher level than the state of nirvana described by Freud, which rather means an absence of tension through the complete and temporary satisfaction of emotional, sexual and physiological